Why they keep on calling my name?
Peace. This the Bearded Heru, and everything is real. Check me out. We're gonna chop it up about one of my favorite pastimes, reading books. I was at the bookstore, vibing, going through the scrolls, digging through the crates, just absorbing the ambiance and the energy of a powerful, powerful black bookstore. You know what that feel like, right? So me and one of the other guards that was there, we was chopping it up and building, and we was talking about the classics and the classic teachers, the master teachers, the authors, and just the old school, hard-hitting, powerful knowledge, right? So after that big jolt of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is when you and the guards building up and y'all tapping back in, and y'all having a cipher. So after I leave, I go to the house. When I get to the house, I go to the front porch, and it's time to have a session. So I was reading the God's Supreme Understanding book, when the world was black, just going through it and deep diving and shit. And one of the neighbors was passing, and he said, "Yo, G, what you got going on, man? What you reading up on? The shit you always reading? What's the good word?" So we was talking and chopping it up and kicking game, and this motherfucker said something slick. So I looked at him. A couple minutes went on, and shit, I said, "Hey man, where you got that shit from?" And then he told me he got it from a video. Steel sharpens steel and iron sharpens iron. And I just think, deep diving through the books and the scrolls, and to pull out certain messages and passages and certain gems out of books, I think that's a lost art. It used to be a cool, clever, and the fly thing, right? When you could deep dive into a subject, and when you get around your allies, y'all get to talking about that subject, and you get to let off your shots. Everybody look at you like, "Yo, man, the God been in the lab." Especially the old school books with that real OG type knowledge of self in it. Me and the G's always talk about everybody who going through this spiritual journey. You got like a top 10 or top 20 book list that you go back to every now and then, and you just reference and you just tap back into that old school feeling. It's a lost art, man. Even old school books like the autobiography of Malcolm X. Now I'm gonna tell you what's dope about that particular copy of that book. My son was going through something in school, or he was trying to be something that he wasn't. And I made him read this book, and he gave me a book report on it. So that was some real powerful moment for me, and I always keep that book report inside that book. Even though at this stage in my knowledge journey that some shit in that book ain't right, man, but we get the gist of what they trying to get across about Malcolm X. Even old school street novels, man, like Donald Guarns and Iceberg Slim, White Man's Justice and Black Man's Grief. I don't even think dudes passed them around no more, and them was classic. I remember them Iceberg Slim books. My brother used to let me read those books. I even heard an argument between a couple older dudes about who had the silver copy. And I think it was Silver and Iceberg had on the purple suit, and who had the gold copy. Whoever had the silver one had the exclusive copy. Some old shit like that, man. I guess dudes don't really be into shit like that no more. If you ain't reading no books, where you getting your game from? Shit, you getting all your game from the computer. You letting the computer think for you. I ain't seen her saying I'm some type of goddamn bookworm, but the God get down in them scrolls, man. You know, I like to keep it old school when it comes to that knowledge and that wisdom. I still read books and magazines, and I still listen to CDs and tapes, you know, OG style. You know, the type of people I be around, it's a cool thing to see who can come up with the hardest to find book or just some vintage titles. When I was coming up, it used to be a saying, if you want to hide something from black folk, to put it in a book. But like Pimp C say, hey man, I got some knowledge y'all need to get up on, man. Indeed, so we need to restore the fine art of doing the knowledge and put some fat on your head and get some game about yourself. Peace.
Why they keep on calling my name?